I'm not gonna yell. I'm not. There's no point. Um, yeah, for a multitude of reasons, I'm not gonna yell. First things first. This was the worst game of Jalen Hurts' career. I'm I'm just at a loss for words. Obviously, two turnovers in one play, game sealing pick. AJ Brown hears footsteps. He tips it up. It's another pick. Herbert was doing everything he could to give it right back to us. Like, hey, bro, do you want better? Here's a fumble. It was like 10 total turnover worthy plays. 52% completion percentage. Career high, 4 picks, some drops, 5 total turnovers. The Eagles have not scored more than 21 points in the last 5 games. Once again, for a multitude of reasons, I am not going to yell. I think I did that enough, with the Shador situation. Um, Jalen Hurts tonight was much more about Jalen Hurts than Kevin Patullo. All that goes to say, Kevin Patullo should not be near. And if that was Nick Sirianni's idea of mixing stuff in now, and I'm not going to act like nothing positive happened. Obviously, the fake tush push at the start of the fourth quarter, Saquon breaks away. Obviously, I believe the only touchdown the Eagles had. Um, there were a couple other nice um, wrinkles to it, but it's not good enough. I think after that Broncos game, way back when, people should have started listening to people like AJ Brown, to people like Lane Johnson, to people like Devontae Smith about how it's not good enough. Um, they were able to run the ball well today. Saquon had think about probably 100, 130 total scrimmage yards today. Um, AJ, had a solid game. Obviously, that drop on the first play from scrimmage. Um, the last throw that Hurts had to him, Tart was on him. That was just a good play by Tart, the DB. Um, and then the pick. It's a little high, but it hits your hands. You are a premier NFL receiver. You should come down with that. I saw Terrell Owens, who's a similar play style to AJ Brown. I saw Terrell Owens be willing to take that hit numerous times. I've seen Jamar Chase be willing to take that hit numerous times. Um, you got to come down with that. I mean, I'm just looking at this complete and utter. First, if I'm the defense, I'm disgusted. Jordan Davis played out. I don't think you can put into words. Jordan Davis played out of his mind today. 6 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 TFLs. Like the Kobe Dean, he should have had two more sacks. Kobe, he missed wrapping up on a couple. The Kobe Dean was a force all game. Adoree Jackson had his best game of the season. Jalen Phillips came to play. Nolan Smith Hunt, the crew came to play. And for you to, you know, for Dallas Goedert to have two tackles. For Dallas Goedert to have the same amount of tackles as Quinion Mitchell is criminal. For Dallas Goedert to have more tackles than Moro Ojomo, and because it's a new penalty, we know that's how the Broncos. I think it was the Broncos. Yeah, we know that's how the Broncos beat the Colts in like week 3 or week 2, whatever. But bro, you can't. That like even if you don't even try to like succeed in doing it, you can't try to jump over like using like the guard's like shoulder as like a leaping point. You can't. Um, Defense still forced a field goal there, but if I'm Jordan Davis, if I'm the Kobe Dean, if I'm Jalen Phillips, if I'm Byron Young, if I'm Zach Bond, if I'm Nolan Smith, I'm disgusted. I'm demoralized. I'm like, bro, we held Lad McConkey to like 2 catches for 20 yards. We held the Chargers running game in check, essentially, for a very large part of the game. We held Justin Herbert to like completing like 50% of his. Yeah, let's be clear. Justin Herbert was good and terrible too. Um, he just didn't have, obviously the game losing pick, 2 turnovers in one play. Um, it's just there's no words. Because normally, like when the Cowboys had like multiple turnovers against the Broncos, you saw the Broncos put 44 points on them boys. With us, we give the Chargers like 5 turnovers and they win by 3 in OT. It's just, and it's especially demoralizing after seeing Hurts' best throw of the night, that dig crosser to Devontae, beating the zone coverage, 3rd and 16, absolutely had to have it. Like when he made that throw, I was like, okay, here we go. Very next play, I think Goddard down to like the 25-yard line. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're moving. And then Hurts like just throw it out of bounds. Live to see another down. Um this was this felt like, you know, when I don't even know what this feels like. Um I was about to try to come up with something like on the fly, feel me, but I don't even know. I'm still in shock. Like the Chargers did everything. Both teams did everything to lose this game. Um it's this is just crazy. Um you know, 31 passer rating, um 5 turnovers for Hurts. This kind of felt like the Sixers game the other night. Um, the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't even want to don't get me started about them. I just, for me, it's the worst third quarter team in basketball. You start out the half up like 8, and you end the third quarter down 5. Like it's that's an unserious, like not playing McCain, not playing Bona. Like that's like not serious in itself. Um, like Joel Embiid, like, don't. We're not even talking about the Sixers right now. But this team, like I don't know what to. There's no words. Um, like I can't like the 2023 collapse. Hurts' worst game was probably at the Giants the last week of the season, where AJ like pulled that hamstring at MetLife. It was just like a completely demoralizing game. Like you could tell, like just completely limping into the playoffs. Like this team ain't going nowhere. Um, Jordan Mailata, bro, you can't be the one saying vibes are high, it's good. This is not 2023, and you out here getting worked by Odafe Owe. Like respect to Cuz, like he had like a decent game, but you are Jordan Mailata, and you are getting worked by Odafe Owe. Like it, Landon Dickerson. I do not, I do not want to see Landon Dickerson for at least 2 weeks. Like Raiders, at Commanders, I do not want to see Landon Dickerson on the field. I do not want to see Cam Jurgens on the field. Get your ass healthy. I don't know what kind of painkillers Landon Dickerson is on, but clearly it's not helping enough. The run game was good tonight, but time and time again, the inconsistencies keep showing themselves. What part of run to the outside left is so hard? I, it's, like clearly there is something there. Yet we continue to, yeah, let's try to run it up the middle. Because maybe that'll work. It has to, right? At some point? No, it won't. Running BS counter to the right also doesn't work. Running the ball outside to the left clearly is the Eagles' formula to success in the run game. As far as the passing game goes, um, Jalen Hurts, it's becoming evident that Jalen Hurts does not trust Kevin Patullo. And at this point, it might be a little Nick Sirianni as well. He doesn't trust Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo doesn't trust Hurts to make certain plays. And that all leads to other players looking up to leadership for like answers and other guys to make plays. And that's simply not happening right now. So, and I think that was John Clark for CBS report that said that. Like it's becoming pretty clear. I mean, it's very obvious that there's a disconnect. Hurts missed on. I can go to at least like 3 throws right now. Hurts just missed, just sailed, and I want to tangent real quick because Baltimore Ravens fans started like flooding like my timeline, like my like oh Hurts is like I was already one of my like best friends like Hurts top 5, and I want to be critical. Hurts has not played the last month. Hurts has not played like a top 5 quarterback that people who watch the games know that he can play at. That being said, Ravens fans, respectfully, like just hop off for a second. Just hop off. Like it's okay. Lamar Jackson has been good and terrible. Like like this season, like y'all acting like y'all going somewhere. Like Lamar's like caring, like y'all do. Your defense is not good. Lamar has been playing bad. Like, Hurts made some bad throws tonight. I could go to that Steelers game yesterday and point to at least like 10 plays like, Lamar, what the hell are you doing? So don't come to me, Ravens fans, respectfully, sit down. Go somewhere, get out your basement, do something with your life, bro, respectfully, because y'all not going anywhere quick either. Y'all might not even split the playoffs. So respectfully, Ravens fans, y'all gotta chill. Because your guy, if it was Bills fans, if it was Rams fans, I'd be like, that's cool. Even though, first off, we own the Rams. Even though I think if we, you know, assuming we still get to the playoffs and we meet the Rams at this certain point in juncture, I don't see us getting that win. But Bills fan, if you're like a Bills fan or a Rams fan right now, like you can talk your talk. But if you're like a Ravens fan, like cause like y'all not going anywhere. Lamar has played terrible the last couple of weeks, especially. Like all I know is that this year, my guy beat Mahomes, and your guy lost to Josh Allen and Mahomes and Burrow. So don't respectfully don't come to me with that bull jive. But nevertheless, Philadelphia Eagles. Um, defense showed up to play. Once again, certain coaches and players showed up to play. Nick Sirianni and Caleb Patullo, was it all on them? Was it all terrible coaching? No. Although I believe that was horrible clock and game management at the end of the first half when all you need is like 4 to 8 more yards and you send 5 receivers out to the sideline when you could have easily probably gotten Goddard somewhere in the middle for a good chunk. He slides down, get an easier field goal, and you're not even in this overtime position. But no, I think Sirianni calls some, like, I don't even know what that was. Waste like 6 seconds, and Elliott obviously misses that field goal after Dory Jackson made a heck of a play. Jalen Phillips made a heck of a play getting the pressure. They got after Herbert all night. This team, the only thing that's keeping me sane right now is the fact that there's a good chance that Yaxel Lendeborg knows my name and that I have Michigan basketball. That is the only thing keeping me sane right now. Plus the fact that Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe are the future. Those are the only two things keeping me sane right now. If the Eagles defense was like their own team, maybe. We know that's obviously not the case. But this offense, it's just too inconsistent. Kevin Patullo can't get anything consistent going. Nick Sirianni, like once again, there were like 2 or 3 like splash, flash, wrinkle, whatever you want to call it, plays. Everything else was just the same old, same old. And a lot of the stuff Hurts was doing, assuming he was checking out of a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage. Once again, those super late play clocks, I do not like those. We had to waste a timeout on one of those plays. But nevertheless, like this team, Hurts doesn't trust the coaches. The coaches seem to not fully trust him at times. And it's created this rift that seems this season at least is pretty much irreparable. Howie Roseman, you got to do something about this. because this can't stay. Um, Kevin Patullo, he has to be gone after this year for sure. At this point in the season, I don't think you do anything because like we're in week like 15 now. Like it is what it is. Um, there's nothing you can do. Um, no offensive assist consultant. No like Brian Davis. There's no like the offense is not going to change. You don't learn a new offense mid December. Nobody does that. So you're stuck with what you have. You got a great defense that continuously bails out poor offensive execution. Um, and on a night where you have 5 turnovers, the defense still bailed you out to get to OT, and you just you know just fold. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' offense tonight folded. They did. Jalen Hurts over the last month has not played like a top 5 quarterback. That's we gotta say it. We gotta keep it a stack. Gotta keep it a buck. Um, it's extremely. This wasn't like the Bengals where Burrow like lit it up early, wheeling and dealing. And just late down the stretch, he had 2 turnovers that were like kind of like, bro, like what are you doing? The entire game for the Eagles offense was like, bruh, like what are you doing? It was actually great because we all know Eagles fans travel. I think there was one like pretty much 3 and out where instead of more cheers, like yeah, yay, the opposing team got taken off the field, their offense, they were more boos in the crowd when the Eagles went like I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 and out. At some point in the game, there were more boos in the stadium than cheers. First off, if you're a Chargers fan or you're a Rams fan, like you should be ashamed like of yourself. They kept on panning like this one Chargers family that are probably just like fake fans that live in like Beverly Hills. That's not here or there. Me hating on some like random family. Um, all that goes to show is Eagle. Like once again, this is not. If this team was in Tennessee, if this team was in Miami, if this team was in LA, no one would care. No one would be on it on this team. No one would be analyzing plays. Former players wouldn't be posting on Twitter every like 5 minutes about like what happened here on this play, like what receiver didn't see, what corner didn't see this route. Um, Speaking of recognizing stuff, Cooper DeJean had like an insane zone recognition on the running back wheel route on that like late third down. Um, Zach Bond, like literally on the next possession, missed it. Tight end was wide open in the flat, and I think he got the yard to gain. But like this team, it's not. And sometimes you gotta accept it. It's not your year. Um, other teams just they got it right now. Right now, my pick to come out of the NFC is the Los Angeles Rams. Um, I just because bro, like even if you stop the Rams offense, like what are we going to do? There's nothing you can tell me like, oh, we're gonna do enough on offense to win. If we can't beat Justin Herbert, who should have been sacked 10 times, who's playing with one hand, who has a terrible O line. The defense, was very opportunistic, but Hurts showed like when the spurts he played well that they could clearly be had, and the running game was going, and you still lost. It's just unfortunate. Um, you know, once again, like there's no words. I can't even come up with like an analogy right now. Once again, only thing keeping my sanity is Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Michigan basketball. And I have a good friend, known for a few months now. He's a Giants fan, so he knows what it feels like to be in this position. And he taught me how to separate myself from the team when they lose. When they lose in games like this, we were like constantly losing, like the Eagles have been doing over the last month. Um, you gotta separate yourself. I'm not a player, not a GM. I'm not a scout. I'm not an executive. I'm not an owner. I'm just a fan of the team, and the team I'm a fan of did not play well today at all. One unit of the team I'm a fan of did not play well today at all. The other unit balled out. Um, but it's a team game. You need both sides to come together. With Mahomes, we saw how his receivers. It's a team game. His receivers had a total of like 5 drops, one or two of which led to picks. With Lamar, the Ravens, the defense is playing well, and Lamar just has like cartoon like turnovers. With Joe Burrow, he has a terrible defense, and he knows he can't turn the ball over because clearly he showed on Sunday you turn the ball over. Now you're like behind the 8 ball. Now it's even that much harder to win. And the Eagles defense knows that we have to hold them to field goals or punts because we know our offense, for some reason, just can't get it going. And when it seemed like the offense was going to get it going, the defense had the momentum up to the midpoint in that fourth quarter. It just, turnovers. At some point, the turnovers are going to catch up to you. The Houston Texans tonight would not have survived those 5 turnovers. And I still believe, fully healthy, this Eagles defense is right up there with Houston and Denver for number one in the league. The Eagles defense did the same exact thing to Patrick Mahomes, what the Houston Texans did to Patrick Mahomes last night. You see what Denver did to Mahomes. Eagles did the same thing. Makuba didn't even play. Shout out to Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps had a day. Jalix Hunt, Jahad Campbell, great jobs. Maintaining the edge, not collapsing, not losing contain. Jalen Phillips lost contain a couple times. Herbert, took off out the window on him for a couple first downs. Byron Young as well. But this team, once again, there's like a multitude of reasons. I'm not gonna yell because there's no point. But Kevin Patullo, and there needs to be, last thing before I hop off this, John, there needs to be a conversation about Nick Sirianni. There has to be. This is a guy who clearly said he had a much bigger role in the offense this week, and it looked pretty much the same. There were a couple, explosive plays, whatever, but other than that, it did not look significantly better like Dan Campbell did when he took over from John Morton. Next game against the Commanders, they put up 44. Now, I know the Chargers are obviously better than the Commanders, because, the offense was bad. And Nick Sirianni has the answer for that. And once again, I'm on the focus, what does Nick Sirianni do? We saw tonight, clearly not enough. Once again, Jordan Davis had his best game. You could say the Rams game is slightly better, but Jordan Davis had arguably his best game. 6 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 TFLs. For a man that size, Jalen Carter, guys have to step up. Jordan Davis had a day. Shout out to Swaggy P. Davis. He had his best game. The Kobe Dean, friend of the show, he had a very nice game as well. Other guys, Jalen Phillips, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, all contributed, but it was not enough as the Eagles was another one. I am not worried. This is the last thing for Apple Division. I am still not worried about the Dallas Cowboys because of their schedule, who they still have to play. They still have to play a Jackson Dart Giants team, and they still have to play the Chargers. Now, I don't know the other 2 teams in that mix. What I do know is they are going to lose one of those 2 games, either to the Jackson Dart Giants or to the Chargers. But, I'm just worried about my team. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to think about this team. It's actually great because the Sixers are off till Friday. So, we'll make a couple more reels, get those out. But just going to focus on Michigan basketball. And, best player in the country, Axel Lundeborg, about to get Villanova. It's a BTA tomorrow. So that should be fun. I will be there because that's the only team I'm focusing on. It's the only team that gives me joy at this current moment in time. So it's your boy, Philly Talk PA. Always keep it a stack. Always keep it a buck. Jalen Hurts and I play well. Sorry, guys. We got to admit it. Always got to keep it a stack. Always got to keep it a buck. I'm out, y'all.